You're standing in the garden aisle again, staring at another $20 bag of synthetic fertilizer, wondering why your tomato beds still look tired every June no matter how much you spend. Here's the part nobody tells you at the store. That bag feeds your plants for maybe 2 weeks, then it washes away in the next hard rain, and the microscopic life underground that actually builds fertile soil takes months to recover from the chemical spike. Meanwhile, sitting in your pantry right now is something that costs less than $1 and does what no fertilizer bag ever could: plain white rice. Not as food for your plants directly, but as fuel for an entire underground workforce that's been quietly building topsoil since before agriculture existed. I'm talking about earthworms, and today I'm walking you through 4 specific ways to use rice to multiply their numbers in your garden, backed by real published research, not garden folklore. Stick with me, because by the end of this you'll never look at a leftover bowl of rice the same way again. Before we get to the rice, you need to understand exactly what earthworms are doing underground, because it changes how you think about feeding your soil. A single square meter of healthy garden soil can hold well over 200 earthworms, and each one eats roughly its own body weight in organic material every day. What comes out the other end, the castings, contains up to 5 times more available nitrogen and 7 times more phosphorus than the surrounding soil, according to soil science research going back decades. This isn't a minor garden bonus. A landmark 2014 meta-analysis by Jan Willem van Groningen and colleagues, published in the journal Scientific Reports, pooled data from 57 separate field studies conducted around the world. The result was striking. Fields with active earthworm populations produced 25% higher crop yields on average, with above-ground plant biomass increasing by 23%. The effect was strongest exactly where organic matter was regularly added to the soil, which is precisely the environment rice creates. So the real question isn't how to buy more worms at the bait shop. It's how to feed the microorganisms that earthworms actually eat, because worms don't eat soil or roots. They eat bacteria and fungi. And rice, prepared 4 different ways, is one of the most efficient microbial feeding sources you have sitting in your kitchen cabinet. The fastest of the 4 methods is also the simplest. Take a handful of plain cooked rice, no butter, no salt, no oil, and scatter it directly onto your soil surface, or bury it about an inch deep near your plants. Within roughly 24 to 48 hours, the starches in that rice start breaking down rapidly. Bacteria move in first, feeding on the simple sugars released as the grains soften, and fungal threads follow closely behind, spreading outward into the surrounding soil. That sudden burst of microbial activity is exactly what draws earthworms toward the area. They're not attracted to the rice itself, they're following the smell and presence of the microbial colony feeding on it. Extension programs at Cornell University, Ohio State University, and Purdue University have each documented cooked grains as excellent, fast-decomposing inputs for building soil biology and feeding composting worm populations. To apply this in your own garden, spread about 2 tablespoons of cooked rice per square foot across your bed, press it lightly into the surface, and cover with a thin layer of mulch to hold moisture. Repeat every 2 to 3 weeks through the growing season. Just don't overdo it in one spot. Too much starch dumped at once can temporarily use up available oxygen in the soil as microbes multiply rapidly, so small frequent doses beat one large application every single time. Cooked rice works fast because the starch is already broken open and immediately available. Raw rice works on a completely different timeline, and that's exactly the point. When you crush uncooked rice grains lightly, using a rolling pin or a few quick pulses in a blender, you expose the internal starch without fully releasing it all at once. That starch then breaks down gradually over 2 to 4 weeks as it absorbs soil moisture, creating a slow, steady food source that keeps microbial populations active far longer than cooked rice alone. Research published in 2016 in the International Journal of Environmental Health by Porzamani and colleagues tested rice bran and broken rice as feedstock in vermicomposting systems and found it produced high-quality compost with notably elevated nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium levels compared to standard organic inputs. The broader principle, confirmed across multiple soil biology studies, is that simple carbohydrate sources like starches are among the most effective drivers of earthworm reproduction when mixed into soil or compost. To use this method, lightly crush dry rice. Don't turn it into flour, just crack the grains open, and work about 1 tablespoon per square foot into the top 2 inches of soil, then cover with mulch. A smart rhythm is alternating cooked rice every 2 weeks with crushed raw rice once a month. The cooked rice gives you the quick microbial spike. The raw crushed rice keeps that activity sustained in the background all season long. This trick has the strongest direct research backing of all 4, and it uses something most households pour straight down the drain. When you rinse uncooked rice before cooking it, that cloudy water carries dissolved starches, amino acids, B vitamins, and trace minerals leached right off the surface of the grains. Left to ferment at room temperature for 2 to 3 days, that same water transforms into a concentrated liquid packed with beneficial microbes. A field study published in 2023 in the journal Helion by Nabai and colleagues tested fermented rice rinse water across multiple planting cycles and documented measurable increases in beneficial soil bacteria, including nitrogen-fixing species and organisms that convert locked-up phosphorus and potassium into forms plants can actually absorb. An earlier related study from the same research group, published in Sustainability in 2021, showed that letting the rinse water sit for 2 to 3 days significantly boosted both microbial concentration and nutrient content compared to using it fresh. Making this at home takes almost no effort. Rinse 1 cup of uncooked rice in about 2 cups of water, pour the cloudy water into a jar, cover it loosely so gas can escape, and let it sit at room temperature for 2 to 3 days until it smells faintly sour, which tells you fermentation is active. Dilute it 1:1 with clean water and pour it around your plant's root zones once a week. You're not feeding the plant directly here. You're feeding the living community in the root zone, the same community earthworms rely on for food. The final trick moves rice out of the garden bed and into the systems that supply it, your compost pile and your worm bin, and it multiplies results in both places. A 2018 study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health by Eliamine and colleagues tested how earthworms interacted with rice straw residues in controlled soil systems and found that earthworm body weight and overall biomass increased significantly while mortality dropped, as the worms fed heavily on the microbial colonies growing on the rice material. A separate 2020 study in the journal PeerJ found that earthworms completely broke down rice straw residues within 4 weeks, while identical rice material left without earthworms remained largely intact even after 18 weeks. In your worm bin, mix in 2 to 3 tablespoons of cooked rice with your regular kitchen scraps and bedding at each feeding. In your compost pile, layer a thin scattering of crushed raw rice or leftover cooked rice between your green and brown materials to speed up overall breakdown. Everything these systems produce, finished compost and worm castings, goes right back into your garden beds, feeding the exact same worm population you built with the first 3 tricks. Rice feeds microbes, microbes feed worms, worms build soil, and soil grows better food, all starting from a handful of rice that costs next to nothing. If this changed how you think about that leftover bowl of rice in your fridge, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment telling us which trick you're trying first, and give this video a like so we can keep sharing methods that actually work instead of ones that just sell more product.